from the beautiful Publix Sports Park. It is incredible here in Panama City Beach, Florida. Let's get college baseball started in 2024. It's the Panama City Beach College Baseball Classic right here on Perfect Game TV out of Mississippi. A strong program. The Wildcats of Pearl River, the Commodores out of Gulf Coast State. Proud to say, my father an alum, and a rich, rich history when you speak of that. My name is Darren Sutton, and a longtime leader at the highest levels in the baseball world, and one of the great voices of the game. Steve Phillips is going to be our analyst for the entire weekend. Thanks for being with all of us. Steve, this is fun, and thanks for helping us with these games. We really appreciate it. You've scouted, you've developed players at every level. This has got to be fun for you to see what is a new version of junior college baseball.
Oh, absolutely, and I think that the passion and energy these players bring, the commitment, all of them come in with a chip on their shoulder, looking for something to prove. They either got passed over, didn't get the opportunities maybe they wanted, and they're here because they love the game of baseball.
Craig Cozart is one of the great scouts and leaders for Perfect Game. A decade plus, he was a college coach at the D1 level. His sons are all prospects and spectacular men as well. He gives us his perspective on junior college development.
People are realizing the value of a two-year education if that's what you want. But they also realize that, now community college, junior college, or two-year schools, if that's what we want to call it, are real legitimate options for guys that want to get better. I can say one thing about junior college players. The vast majority of them are there because they are obsessed with the game of baseball. They love the game. They'll do whatever it takes to play the game, because you're still not getting all the glitz and the glamour that you're getting at an SEC or a Power 5 school. But the development is at a totally different level, and the amount of play that you get puts you at a different level as far as preparation is concerned to transition to a four-year school.
Boy, wonderful thoughts. As we take a look at the starting lineup, head coach Michael Avalon, I want you, Steve Phillips, if you don't mind, comment on what you heard, those thoughts about JUCO baseball.
Well, I think that it's an opportunity. I mean, you think about COVID and how the four-year schools have gotten backed up with guys getting extra years of eligibility, the transfer portal, how it's affected that as well, to where, teams are going after, guys who are already got a couple years under their belt and giving them opportunities to play. And so this is an opportunity for some of the younger players to be able to get in and get on the field, get the playing time, get the development and the opportunity to prepare themselves either for professional baseball or an opportunity maybe at a four-year school.
Getting a chance to see the wrap-up warm-ups from Riley Byers. He's out of Corrington, Tennessee. Gibbs High School is where he attended. Exposure Baseball, his travel team. And the son of Kimberly and Mark. We get a chance to see a true freshman. This is a wonderful opportunity. A first-year player in the big event for the year. Look at the gathering behind home plate with the scouts and development of talent around baseball as we are underway. Steve, we're playing college baseball, man.
Let's go. We got a beautiful day down there. 57, 58 degrees, beautiful day. Pitcher coming out, throwing strikes. Riley pounded the zone, going right at Jeff Ince.
Ince is from Clinton, Mississippi, a middle infielder by trade, can play either spot. He went to Jackson Prep, a really strong school in Jackson, Mississippi. You think about Connor Griffin, who may be a top 10 pick in the draft. That's where he goes to school. Currently, Connor Griffin at Jackson Prep. Right in on the hands, fought off toward right field, charging in to make that play is the right fielder, Ethan Campbell. The outfield is Byers, Gupton, and Campbell, left to right. Gupton, incredible speed. We'll tell you more about him. Balcom, Reynolds, Prosac, and Todd on the infield, third to first. Colin Lindsay catches Riley Byers.
Got a ball up in the zone, got jammed a little bit right there, and obviously a good read off the bat, good big swing, but able to realize he didn't get the best contact and come in to make the play.
Left on left, and Bryce Fowler right away lets him know that is not a strike. The comfort that he gets as he settles into the box, holds the bat high, parallel to the ground, close to the plate. Good elevated fastball. 1-1 the count.
Early on here, Byers going with the high fastball, right? That high riding fastball, probably a little amped up as well, rushing, but getting the swings and misses.
Yeah, some good cut on that pitch, getting the swing and miss, as you mentioned. Bryce Fowler from Hammond, Louisiana. Dawn and Brandon are his parents. One of the first to take on competitive sports in his family tree. Pitch out over the plate, uses the entire ballpark, tries to dump it into center field, and does so. Pretty piece of hitting. It's a base hit for Bryce Fowler.
Yeah, good piece of hitting here. Left on left, and obviously a challenge early in the season, but stays in, gets a pitch out over the plate, doesn't pull off the ball, right? So many times left on left, you see a hitter pulling off the ball. He gets the ball out over the plate, able to stay with it and put it in play. Nice piece of hitting.
Fowler had a hit in his opening game. 1-0 the record for Pearl River. 6-2 win over Coastal Alabama. South, good pitch right under the hands. Called a strike to Creek Robertson, the shortstop, a redshirt sophomore, number 1 on that jersey. He's out of Oxford, Mississippi. Played for Chris Snowpeck's travel team back in high school. The SBG Sox, former Major Leaguer Snowpeck. Way high and inside. Popped that one foul to the right side as that one slipped away. Actually, he missed the baseball, so that was a wild pitch. That one kicked free. They tossed down to third and in time for the out. They actually gunned down Fowler.
Interesting. Trying to go first to third on the play. The ball, obviously, he squares around the bunt, and the ball's up in the zone, and it looked like, I agree with you, I thought he fouled it off, but he got out of the way, and it kicks away, gets away from the catcher, goes all the way in front of the first base dugout. Good hustle over there by Jeremy Todd to try to make the play, and look at a run of the bases. Fowler going first to third on the play, but they gun him down at third base. Obviously, Fowler not liking the call, but good hustle on his part, but outstanding defensive execution.
Nice job by a junior college umpiring team, too, letting him know, hey, he got him right there under the arm. I saw the hand touch the bag, but I saw the tag as well. Good breaking ball, lower part of the strike zone. Pretty good 0-2 pitch, 1-2 the count. Yeah, Steve, it was crazy. I actually thought he had fouled that one off.
It looked like he did. I agree with you. Or it hit him almost because it was really an inside pitch.
Similar to that pitch, right up under the hands of Creek.
You know, you see a little bit different college baseball, right? The number 3 hitter in the lineup squaring around for almost a sacrifice bunt, it looked like, in that at-bat.
Up on that tippy toe with the lead foot, drops the bat, earns himself the walk. He learns a lot watching Trey Turner play. He's a middle infielder. That's one of his guys. I always love learning from these athletes, whether you're high school, whether you're college. Who do you look up to? Who do you follow? Who do you learn from? And for Creek Robertson, it's Trey Turner.
Not a bad guy to follow for sure.
Left on left, slightly open stance. This is Hollis Porter. That one into the dirt it goes. Skips high into the air. They can't find it. Moving into second into scoring position. Read easily by Robertson there. He didn't try to go all the way to third, but he did move up.
He didn't notice, right? The ball got away from the catcher, Lindsey, and bounced high in the air, and he couldn't find it right away, but he ended up, Robertson, diving headfirst into second and didn't pick up the potential. You don't want to make the last out at third base anyways in that base running moment.
Well, what an opening game Hollis Porter had as he serves that breaking ball the other way. In that win over Coastal Alabama South, announcing your presence with authority as a redshirt freshman, he was 4 for 5, had a couple of RBIs. He has already homered this year in just his very first game.
Big boy, too, in the zone right there. Big presence in the box.
Not interested in that high fastball. You know what's fun? The energy you hear in those dugouts. You can hear it. We can hear it. It's fun.
Byers having some difficulty getting his fastball down in the zone. He couldn't get his breaking ball over. You got to keyhole him right here and look for a pitch to drive.
Left the breaking ball up. I think he had that aggression, just made a last-minute decision, 2-2 the count.
Tell you what, hanging in there tough, though. Left-handed hitter, big left-handed pitcher on the mound. And we saw him throw the breaking ball down in the dirt, and then another one kind of hanging up in the zone right there. Robertson getting a big lead off of second base, being held tight by Reynolds.
Got him. Pulled the string back, changed of pace, and a strikeout against the big 6'4", 220 slugger. A man who was 3 times All-State in high school in Tennessee gets comfortable in college baseball. We're glad to have you with us. Getting started now at the 2024 Visit Panama City Beach College Baseball Classic. Gulf Coast will swing it next.
Oh, yeah. Good wait for this one.
The lineup will introduce you to all of these athletes as they get their opportunity to go to work. Connor Ware is committed to pitch for Jay Johnson at LSU unless the pros call his name. This is left-hander Connor Ware out of Madison, Mississippi.
Looking forward to watch him. He's been working hard on his changeup in the offseason to get himself ready to deliver.
And a pretty good fastball with a big leg kick, and away we go. Jack Reynolds, the shortstop from Columbia, South Carolina, a redshirt freshman.
Big,
One
tall,
and one
lanky.
the count.
Big, tall, lanky left-hander on the mound is Ware. Good-looking physical presence out there. You can understand why LSU wants him.
That's another reason. That's a pretty breaking ball over the inside corner.
Yeah, sure. Uncle Charlie right there. Dropped that one in there easily with complete confidence.
So on 1-2, he goes back to that pitch. That was lifted. It's spoiled off to the left side. Phillips gives it a run down the left field line. It's funny. He shared with us, as far as dropping in that breaking ball, it's kind of something that he's been comfortable with a long time. As you mentioned, it's the changeup that's the work in progress. What a gift to feel like you're almost born with that breaking ball command.
Yeah, no question about that. You can really learn the changeup. It's a feel pitch. You've got to try to just find the right grip for yourself and keep the same arm speed that you use for your fastball. But when you have that kind of breaking ball, it can neutralize lefties for sure, but also handle some right-handed hitters.
He's learned a lot from his brother Bryson, who's in the Phillies organization in low A, 23 years old. Nelson and Teresa, his parents. And really making the right choice for him anyway to choose the junior college route. He really has been thrilled playing for Coach Avalon. Tried to get the inside corner and didn't get the call.
You know, his brother Bryson also went to Pro River, and I think that, he got a chance with his brothers there to sort of get up close and personal and to get to know the coaching staff and really like them. And good take there, gutsy take right there, certainly by Reynolds in the box. That's an outstanding breaking ball.
Fastball lifted toward left field, pretty well struck. Racing back is Phillips. It's up against the wall. Letting the ball travel deep into his stance, but then flexing that power. It's a double for Jack Reynolds.
That's a good piece of hitting right there. I mean, especially after seeing a couple of breaking balls, to still stay on the fastball. As a hitter, that's the plan. You've got to be ready for the fastball, adjust breaking ball, got to pitch up in the zone, drove it to deep left center field. That ball carried very well, hustling around the bases, going into second base, standing up.
And now Michael Gupton. Played his freshman year at NC State, limited playing time, a perfect game All-American. Finding the right place to play for him, and he has made a huge impact. And you don't want to get stuck on the speed. It's world-class speed, and I'm not just throwing it out there. There are other parts of his game, and he's very proud of how they've grown.
Yeah, big, strong-looking young man in the batter's box as well. A lot of tools.
Good pitch. That looked like the changeup.
It did, right? And that's the pitch he's looking to be effective with against right-handed hitters. And, I mean, Gupton looks like he's a cornerback in the NFL that can absolutely fly in the combine. He is built like a truck.
Great personality, the son of Van and Joyce. He taught us how to run fast, a great feature that he did for us. That Perfect Game National Showcase was that year at the Trop in Tampa, Florida, actually St. Petersburg, Florida.
So did that increase your speed, Darren? I mean, he taught you how to run. Are you faster now?
He couldn't take 40 years off my life and take my height down from 6'5" and not athletic. He couldn't do any of that for me.
Oh, okay.
Good pitch, a fastball. It's funny when you can command that changeup, if we're going to stick on that subject for a bit. You know, you command it to a guy like Gupton. Even if you're throwing a fastball at 88, it looks 95 if you're commanding your changeup. Runner in scoring position. 0-2 breaking ball. Got him, strike three.
Got him again, 0-2 right there. Understanding what the hitter's trying to do, right? Man on second, nobody out. He wants to advance the runner to third, and getting that ability to get swings and misses. That's how you put zeros up on the board, that they can't manufacture. A guy on, get him over, get him in. You get the strikeout right there. Now one out, man on second base.
Ethan Campbell now, redshirt sophomore from Youngstown, Florida. Change-up swung on and missed. 0-1 the count.
Boy, I'll tell you what, Connor Ware talked a lot about how he wanted that changeup to become an effective pitch for him. He's using it right out of the gate. And that's the thing, especially in a jam, you tend to want to go to your bread and butter, not the pitch you're working on, but he's using that changeup effectively.
Goes outside corner with a fastball. 0-2 the count against Campbell, who, by the way, has opened the season with a double. He's got a couple of hits. Hasn't walked yet, hitting 167, 2 for 12 to start things. Struck out 5 times on the year. Campbell wags that bat very close to the plate in that batter's box. Wasted a fastball, 1-2.
Yeah, Logan Terry set up way off the plate right there, the catcher for Connor Ware. And again, I don't mind that. 0-2, take a pitch, see if you can get him to chase a little off the plate.
Breaking ball just missed off the plate.
Interesting, Logan Terry, the catcher, kind of held his glove up high. Typically, that would mean go to the high fastball, and then they came in with a breaking ball. So a bit of trickery and deception from Terry behind the plate.
Quick call of time. Ward into that third base dugout.
Yeah, I think he's saying, I'll let you know when it's a strike. Keep it down over there.
2-2 the count. Pearl River in those gold jerseys, and a good take of the Gulf Coast slugger in that baby blue, Ethan Campbell.
I got first base open right here. And, you look at it, he went 2-2 curveball. And a lot of times, whatever you go 2-2 with, you might come back with 3-2. It'll be interesting to see if he goes back to the bread and butter, the curveball, or if he throws him the high fastball.
The 3-2 pitch. Good take on a breaking ball away. Campbell has such an interesting resume as an athlete all the way back to high school. He's a local product, but he's an athlete that did everything. Won a state championship, but then played multiple sports. He wrestled, he ran track, he played football. He was actually, as a young man, a gymnast for a while.
Wow. Very athletic, flexibility important for a baseball player as well.
Yeah, boy, over the last couple of generations, that's evolved, hasn't it?
It really has.
Here's Jeremy Todd. Good fastball zips right under his hands for a called strike. Todd's opened the year with the flex. He is 4 for 10 to start the year. He has also walked 3 times, a .538 on base percentage in his first 3 games. Little roller out towards short. They flip for 1. On to first. Scooped out. Pops away. Couldn't make the scoop. A run will score. Good aggressive base running. And Gulf Coast jumps out front. Tried to dig it out, did Hollis Porter. Couldn't do so. Give Jack Reynolds credit. He never missed a beat. He scores.
The feed at short from Creek Robertson to Jeff Ince was pretty good. But Ince's throw to first base bounced, short-hopped Porter at first base, not able to make the play on it, and good hustle all the way around. Reynolds coming in to score to put Gulf Coast up 1-0.
So they did get Campbell. 2 outs in the inning. I think we're showing you 2 there, too, as well. A breaking ball and a strike for Cole Horton, the designated hitter. Horton, another one that's really been strong. As a matter of fact, he is one of the only players in this event, period, that has 2 home runs to open the year. He's got a pair. He's got 5 hits. A healthy OPS of almost 1,700 in a tiny sample size, but a good way to start the year in his first 3 games.
Took a big, healthy cut on a fastball right there, too.
Cut of a man who's seeing the baseball to open the year, Cole Horton. Local product from Panama City Beach. Went to Mosley High School. Well, that's a pretty nice take on that breaking ball.
Really good take. And, the important thing for hitting is to get started early enough. Get that front foot down so that you can be ready for the fastball and then keep your hands back for the breaking ball. Very good take right there as he read the pitch out of Ware's hand.
1-2, got him looking outside corner. A couple of strikeouts on the inning, and a nice start for Connor Ware. It was a little bit of wildness and a wonderful approach from Jack Reynolds, and a miscue scored the inning's lone run. We've put one in the books, and aren't we glad you're joining us at the Visit Panama City Beach College Baseball Classic. Gulf Coast leads Pearl River out of Mississippi 1-0. Marshall Phillips will lead things off. Riley Byers, the true freshman, getting a wonderful opportunity. Riley said to us he chose Gulf Coast State. He believes the coaches and the team here, he said, set him up for the best opportunity to grow and succeed. A freshman goes to work that lower arm slot and drops a slide in there for the Marshall Phillips left-hander. Phillips, the left fielder, number 3 on that jersey, just a sophomore from Hattiesburg, Mississippi. Good fastball misses up and in.
You know, Darren, I've always thought you can't go wrong with a Phillips on your team. I mean, it's just me, but that's my belief, is you can't go wrong with a Phillips on your team.
Either on it or leading it, one or the other, right? That pitch is low, 2-1 the count. Riley, Corrington, Tennessee, went to Gibbs High School, where he played for Jeff Davis, his head coach, the man on the mound. The Phillips we're speaking of rolls it out towards short. On a backhand, that's Jack Reynolds. That throw is high. Off the bag he goes, and a leadoff base runner for Pearl River.
Well, Phillips pulled an outside fastball to short. And Reynolds ranged to his right, but again, throwing is about footwork. And you've got to get around that ball to throw. Good hustle down the line by Phillips. Good heads-up play, too. The throw from Reynolds came in high to Jeremy Todd. Todd came off the base to try to catch it and apply the tag, but Phillips made the adjustment running down the line and got in safely.
And so he's there with an opportunity now for Alex Wade, a redshirt freshman, a right fielder from Decatur, Alabama. Went to Madison Academy, where he played for David Presley, his head coach. You can see that 19 on his back, so he closes up the stance a little bit as it pops in and out of the catcher's mitt. Wade 0 for 3 in the opening win against Coastal Alabama. Did reach via a walk. He pops that one up. And that one will leave the ballpark. This complex is gorgeous. Steve Phillips telling us how pretty it is here today. Trickling into the 60s now. But the sun bathing down on scouts, baseball players. Just a wonderful day to be playing baseball. You and I were marveling during the break the amount of people, especially scouts or evaluators, taking this game in. Good pitch, pulled the string.
Nice breaking ball right there, and really nice job with it. And 6'3", 195 here, Alex Wade is a big boy in the batter's box right now, but fooled on that breaking ball.
The son of Keith and Aaron Wade. Dad played college tennis, and this is an all-state player. You get to this level of junior college baseball, which is a gathering of some of the best teams east of the Mississippi. Almost all of these players were all conference and all state, and probably could have chosen a Division I as well, but this is their slot. This is where they want to be. Boy, good breaking ball right over the top of that one, and down he goes. He showed him a couple of real dandies, Steve.
He really did, and you know, he does drop down a little bit, and you know, a lot of times when your arm slot lowers some, you've got to make sure you stay on top of the breaking ball to get the depth to it that you want. But Byer's doing a nice job so far.
Logan Terry with the chance. He's from Hurley, Mississippi. Bo Long, his coach at East Central High School, just graduated in 2023. Won back-to-back state championships there. And he is the catcher. Terry had a hit in the opener. Scored a run as well. Was 1 for 4. Runner was on the move. It's rolled out toward third, so the only play is to first, and it's made quite easily. Walkham shoots it on across the diamond to Todd. 2 outs. Runner at second base.
I do like getting the runner moving right there. And again, left on left, you know, left-handed pitcher on the mound who did show a fairly decent move his first time going over to first base. But Phillips on the move. He now is in scoring position with 2 outs in the inning.
Gulf Coast leading it 1-0, scoring on a miscue on the back end of a double play. As we play here in the top of the second inning. They're in the blue uniforms. He spits on that breaking ball, showed him another good one. This is Trent Wright. He's the DH. This is Wright's first opportunity to grab a bat and go to work. And a wonderful chance because this is a freshman. This is his college debut as he takes a strike.
Heart has to be pumping, breathing, optional right now. It's, I got a man in scoring position, chance to tie the game up.
He's from Birmingham, Alabama, went to Mountain Brook High School. Lee Gann, his head coach. Played for Top Gun, played for Team Easton, his travel teams. 3-1 the count.
Chance to be picky right here to get himself a pitch that he can drive, find a hole, and score a run.
3-1 the count. There is that runner Steve Phillips is talking about. Good 3-1 pitch. A breaking ball, strike 2.
Yeah, 3-1 breaking ball to the 8-hitter in the lineup. It's not generally what you want, but especially the first game of the season, I'd rather just go at him, be aggressive early on, but trying to keep a 0 on the scoreboard right here. Good pitch. Does he throw it again?
Why not? The 3-2. Drops down, had a little bit more sidearm look to that ball, almost a slider. Either way, it worked. One a downward tilt, the second one more side to side, but he shocked the man who was ahead with a 3-1 count, and he strands a runner at second base. Byers back into that dugout. His team, Gulf Coast, leading it 1-0.
Oh, yeah. Been waiting for this one.
On a 3-1 count, he dug right out of it. That was pretty.
But got some depth on both of them. He threw that 3-1, comes right back 3-2 to get the big strikeout to get out of the inning and leave a runner in scoring position. Good piece of pitching.
Yeah, boy, that was nasty stuff. And a freshman learning quickly what college baseball is all about. Right back to work. Connor Ware zips a fastball with some teeth to it over the outside corner. Brant Bauckham comes up empty, the third baseman, on a swing and a miss there. No balls and 2 strikes to count.
Even in junior college baseball, they've got the armor on, right? He's got the arm protection, the ankle protection, and well guarded as he gets in the batter's box with the armor on.
Brand from Buford, Georgia. Just a slightly closed stance, only just a bit. And a fastball ready for it. High fly ball, well struck left field. Going back just shy of that wall. The center fielder, Bryce Fowler, calls off Marshall Phillips and makes the play for the first out of the inning. Just an elevated fastball. Those are tough to square up.
I would say that at some point, Connor Ware will learn along the way. That's probably too good of an 0-2 pitch. He's been 0-2 a lot, but he's in the zone with that 0-2 pitch, other than the one time that Logan Terry set up off the plate. This ball's well driven to deep left center field. Obviously, aluminum bat allows that ball to carry a little bit more, but on 0-2, I'd rather the hitter have to make more of a decision on a pitch.
I think as we see Drew Prosek step in, the freshman second baseman, my guess, and you can tell me, and all we're doing is guessing, is he wanted that one well above the letters and actually got it more belt high, correct?
Yeah, probably so, right? He probably didn't locate it. Might not have been the worst pitch selection, but the location wasn't where he wanted.
Prosek, as we mentioned, the freshman from Senatobia, Mississippi. Looks at a nice breaking ball that dots the outside corner. Prosek playing his travel ball for the Yellowbusha Giants, and a club out of Southern California, BPA, that's done some great things, picking up players from Mississippi through the years. Breaking ball, checked his swing.
Well, Ware really getting into using that breaking ball right now, and he particularly very effective against the left-handed hitters. I was a left-handed hitter, infielder when I played, and those big, tall, lanky left-handers that would take that breaking ball and drop it in from right field behind your back, make it very difficult to hit.
Brandon Pennington, his pitching coach, has hands on quite a bit. And he left that one inside, and he got him. He hit Prosek there, and there's a base runner.
Don't rub it. Don't rub it.
Living in the low 90s with his velocity.
You know, you look at these young pitchers that have upside, that have the potential, right? This young man, Connor Ware, is already committed to LSU. I kind of like seeing him with traffic on the bases. I want to see what his stomach's made of. I want to see what his mind's made of, and the execution of pitches when there's a bit more pressure on him.
Colin Lindsey cheats out front just a bit and lifts that one foul. Lindsey, the catcher, another freshman getting a chance to start. What a wonderful perspective you're giving us. That's not the perspective of a coach. That's a perspective of an evaluator, a scout.
Right.
As you're watching a player and a pitcher like this do his thing. Because you're right, he's committed to go to play for Jay Johnson, and what a wonderful safety net that is. But, you know, he'd love to begin his pro career if it makes sense at the end of this JUCO season. Nice job. You saw Logan Terry walking that one up off the turf. Changed up on him, 1-2.
Good, good, good. Again, like, you know what? If you're going to project a pitcher, you want to see what his development looks like. His changeup was non-factor a year ago, and now it's a real go-to pitch in a big moment.
Goes back to it. I'll say it is. That's back-to-back changeups that were dynamic.
Really good. Arm speed remains the same as the fastball, and good release, the deception to the hitter, right? Pitching is about location, movement, deception. Looking fastball, throws the change up, and gets him to spit himself into the ground is Colin Lindsey.
Connor Ware shut down for a portion of the season last year when he pitched. He was very effective. As that one dives down and away against Banks Byers from Panama City, local product. He too went to mostly high school, played for John Hudson. Juicy J, his nickname, his teammates call him.
No relation to pitcher Riley Byers, interestingly.
It is interesting. He's got some wonderful family ties as he nearly fires that one away. The man with the bat in his hands, his uncle played baseball at Alabama, his grandfather football for the Crimson Tide. His brother Terry played football at Troy University, so college sports have been talked about in his house a lot. That's rolled out towards short on a backhand, setting his Robertson long throw across the diamond. And a beautiful play there, shoots it over. And a good effort.
That was an outstanding play. I mean, absolutely outstanding. Creek Robertson ranging to his right, and then the quick release to be able to get it across the infield, to be able to make the play, to get the out at first base as Byers hustling down the first base line. He sort of pulled the pitch out over the zone a little bit, and he backhands it, plants his feet. Very well played. Nice job. Good pick at first base by Hollis Porter as well.
Left-handed bat. Breaking ball lifted foul. Spoils the pitch. Good fastball right in under the hands. Back to the top of the order. Jack Reynolds doubled to open this game. And it was a beautiful piece of hitting. Drove the ball toward the left center field wall. Let it travel deep, deep into his stance. No balls and 2 strikes to count. Ware looking to end this quickly. Fastball. He does it. Zips it over the outside corner. 93 miles an hour. Connor Ware flexing out there on the mound. Stranding the runner out there in scoring position. He has got 4 strikeouts in his first 2 innings of work. The changeup's been good. The breaking ball's been good. And, of course, that fastball outstanding as well. As we move along, 1-0, Gulf Coast on top out of Florida over Pearl River out of Mississippi.
Yeah, great. Everything's terrific. It's baseball.
It is baseball, and we're glad you're back with us at the Panama City Beach College Baseball Classic. Steve Phillips, Darren Sutton, and you. And if you found us, that means you're a fan of the sport here on Perfect Game TV as the first pitch fastball from Riley Byers sails up and away. Jonah Katsoubulis from Brandon, Mississippi. East Coast Sox, his travel team. Mississippi Rangers. Hops out of a breaking ball low and inside, 2-0 the count.
I played ball in Mississippi with the Mets minor league, Jackson, Mississippi. A lot of good baseball played in that state.
I don't sleep on it. We're so used to it as that one is lifted a mile high back of third base. Balcom, and in front of him, the shortstop Reynolds calls him off and makes the play for the out. You learned it, and obviously you know it now as someone who has covered the game for so long, developed and built franchise players for a long time. But It does get overlooked nationally, and I'm telling you, you're exactly right. There's amazing baseball, all levels, travel ball, JUCO, of course, major universities, and we're not just talking about the 2 SEC schools. It's incredible.
It really is. And I got to tell you that, you know, the way the game has changed in college baseball, in the 4-year schools, and with COVID and the extra years of, you know, eligibility that players have gotten, the transfer portal, so many of these guys playing now would be sitting on a bench in a 4-year school and not getting any development.
Yeah, it's made it tougher even, and it's so valid, Steve, what you're saying. It's made it tougher even for high school players to make their decisions as they come out. And I think that logjam's clearing up just a little bit. But then at the highest level, where you still are one of the great voices at the highest level, you daily on Sirius XM with your great shows, announcing on big league shows, multiple big league platforms. But then the smaller draft has made it tougher, too. You know, obviously there was a COVID draft that was only 5 rounds, which was crazy small, but you know, the draft, which used to be upwards of 40, even 50 rounds through the generations, is now just 20 rounds.
Made a big difference, where you could get somebody who might be a little raw even out of a junior college, but sign him and get him into pro ball sooner.
Good pitch in on the hands, but trying to be strong enough to fight it off, dump it in there, sliding attempt. Gupton unable to make the play. You love the hustle on the base pads. Ince never missed a beat. There's your little flare double to center field.
Well, that's just hustle. That's thinking out of the batter's box. I don't know if he's going to catch it or not, but if he does it, I'm going to end up on second base. Gupton did not get a great jump on this one, and despite the fantastic feed he has in center field, not able to get it. He paused for just a moment to read it. That hesitation caused him not to get it. Took a bounce past him, but Ince all the way hustling, thinking 2 out of the batter's box.
And now Bryce Fowler, who singled, looks at a breaking ball for strike 1. Riley Byers getting a chance as a true freshman to earn this opportunity to start in an early season game for one of the best JUCO programs in the country. 0-2 the count.
No, 0-2, he went breaking ball, then high fastball. I would go with a higher than high fastball. Go even higher in the zone, up in his eyes, and see if he can't get him to chase.
Nice job protecting. He did go up, maybe not high enough, but it's fouled off. Byers, the son of Mark, and he plays to honor his mom, Kimberly. He lost his mom in 2020. It serves as an inspiration for him, a motivation. I can't even imagine. But certainly mom is with him on the mound and in the classroom at all times as that one bounces in there. Nice job behind the plate by Lindsey. And I think when you hear about that, you remind yourself, you know, there's the big league dreams, there's the getting that college degree, but then there's the human side of these athletes, trying to figure out how to be a man as well through a tragedy like that.
Yeah.
They try to sneak in there, does Reynolds.
Well, the previous play, Jack Reynolds broke on a daylight play to second base, and Byers did not flinch on the mound, and then still threw the pitch to the plate, but I think he was a bit distracted. Then they put on the pickoff play there, but he's got to get back focused on the hitter now.
Slap to the left side. What a beautiful piece of hitting. It is down for a base hit. They'll stop that runner at third. Using the entire diamond, foul line to foul line. Bryce Fowler is 2 for 2.
Well, that's the second time. I mean, remember, this is a left-handed hitter, left-handed pitcher, big lanky guy in Byers on the mound. And he goes out over the zone again. And that's just pure sweet hitting right there. Staying on the ball, not trying to do too much, putting it in play. You know, so much of baseball today has turned into the 3 true outcomes, right? The strikeout, the walk, the home run. Contact hitters, guys who put it in play, are a much rarer commodity right now. But certainly we're seeing that from Bryce Fowler so far in his 2 at-bats today.
It's Stick's turn. Well, that's what his teammates call him. Stick Robertson. Creek is his given name. Both names are great names. He walked back in the first inning.
Those are great names. Creek sucks.
Yeah, when your nickname is Stick and your given name is Creek, you're in good shape.
Yeah.
1-1 the count. Transferred in, had that unique experience of winning the regional at Auburn last year, playing in a super regional against Tennessee. and now has found the right spot for him at the junior college level. There are plenty of players that are in that position where they're just better suited. Creek did his work at Southern Miss, and they had that great run to the Supers last year. That one into the dirt. Runner scampering toward the plate. In there standing up. It kicked far enough away from Colin Lindsay. And the run hustles home and ends. Runner moves up in Fowler to second base.
Well, a wild pitch, and Byers going with the breaking ball, and unfortunately Colin Lindsay not able to get it centered and keep it in front of him. And that's one of those things. If you're going to trust with a man on third to throw that breaking ball, you've got to trust your catcher to block it.
Goes up and in right under the hands there. 3-1 the count. That fifth camera is fun to see as we go inside the dugout. Elbow was a little bit below that pitch, and it misses high. It's ball 4.
Early in the season, he did drop his arm a little bit right there. Now it makes you wonder, he bounced the breaking ball, so is he going to stay away from throwing the breaking ball? And now you look at, the idea of Hollis Porter coming to the plate, a guy with tremendous power and the ability to drive a baseball as they go out to meet on the mound and talk a little bit about things. They get Byers a bit of a break. But the idea now, can you throw your breaking ball here and trust it?
He talked about Porter already homering and doubling to start the year. Struck him out back in the first inning. This is a much-needed conversation. Perfect time to come out, isn't it?
It really was. Yeah, he needed to get regrouped a little bit right here. But I think it really is going to be interesting has he lost confidence in his breaking ball? And if so, then you sit on that high fastball. Make sure, make him bring it down a little bit, but get a pitch you can drive with runners on first and second.
Tyler Younger, the head coach. Levi Borders, one of his assistants, along with Lance Bailey and Brake Norad, a really strong staff here at Gulf Coast. As Younger looks on, handling the pitching as well. He dropped strike one on him, by the way.
There, and he went breaking ball. He went breaking ball right there with it. I like that. Go right back and try to rebuild your confidence with a get-me-over breaking ball on the first pitch.
It can get big on him. Those are tough to command.
More of the sweeper, as they're calling him nowadays, right? The slider is become a sweeper in some regards.
Like a side-to-side curveball, I'm guessing. I don't think it's a slider grip. That pitch misses high and inside. When you hear what he says, Byers will tell you with his own words, I throw a 4-seam, 2-seam, changeup, curveball, slider. Those are his words on his scouting report. Porter gets a pitch out over the plate, pops it into left field, right into the glove of Banks Byers, who makes the play.
Big
pitch remain on first and second.
Pitch up in the zone, and he tried to muscle it. And, and I think the thing for Byers, at some point, you want to change the hitter's eye level. And you like to do it with your fastball every once in a while as well. So he keeps always throwing the fastball up. And I think that's a mechanical issue where your body rushes to the plate, your arm drags behind a little bit. If you can get that arm extended and get the fastball down, it could be effective.
Marshall Phillips takes in and off the plate. He reached on a miscue back in the second inning. Up above the strike zone, 2-0 the count to Marshall.
Yeah, the home plate umpire is not calling that pitch, but a lot of the hitters for Pearl River are swinging and offering at that pitch.
The breaking ball wraps around the plate and never got there. 3-0 the count against the man who at Sumrall High School a couple of years ago won a state championship in his senior season. That's in the Hattiesburg, Mississippi area. Lost him 4 straight.
Byers laboring a little bit right now. We said earlier about the one pitch during the inning that he dropped his arm on. That typically is a sign of some fatigue. And now he missed all 4 of those pitches right there. So he's going to have to regroup right now as he finds himself in a bases-loaded 2-out jam.
That last fastball, 88 miles an hour. That's kind of where he has lived, in the high 80s. On the other side, we've seen Ware touch 93. Uncomfortable swing. That's strike one. Alex Wade is the hitter. Wade struck out back in the second inning. 0-2.
You wonder whether he'll have bases loaded. Do you bounce a breaking ball in the dirt? Last one you bounced in the dirt got away from Colin Lindsay at the plate. Where does he go with this pitch?
Well, what a great point you just made, Steve. Maybe it's the fear, maybe not, but they elevated the fastball instead of going down.
Overthrew it a little bit, and it was a non-decision pitch for Wade at the plate.
The 1-2. Got him. Off speed, gets a swing and a miss. Well, in the end, that wasted fastball served its purpose. It changed the line of sight. There was a big double. Jeffrey Ince, when things got a little bit loose on the base paths on that wild pitch, he came around to score. Bryce Fowler with a beautiful piece of hitting as well. And then the aggressive base running for Ince was on display all inning long. And a run ties it up 1-1.
Oh, yeah. Been waiting for this one.
Whether it be a fishing trip or a place to visit. So very comfortable with it. Also comfortable getting to know this man coming out of high school. One of the best and fastest athletes east of the Mississippi in the 2022 class. Michael Gupton takes a pitch that's low and away. 1-1 our score. A great start here at the Panama City Beach College Baseball Classic.
Well, Darren, we talked about the opportunity that junior college gives so many of these players that if they were sitting on the bench at a four-year school, you know, they would get an at-bat here and there, and they'd practice and be around everybody. But now they're playing up to 50, 60 games on the field of development, which is much better for them.
Chance to show who you are, a chance to evolve and develop. You know, if you want to hang in there and wait till your junior year at a four-year school, that's certainly your prerogative. But a guy like Gupta wants to play. And at NC State, just got a handful of at-bats last year, decided to go. And again, there is a rawness to his game. He'll tell you that. He's, you know, heck, you even had Justin Upton make the big leagues and admit that he was raw in developing his whole career. There is a rawness, and he feels like the best thing for him is to play games. A good patient at-bat and a walk for Gupta.
There's nothing like game experience, right? In practice, they try to simulate real game experience now. A lot of the coaches are talking about they don't ever want their hitters to have coaches throwing dead arm batting practice anymore because it's right, you know, it's thrown right down the middle. The velocity is hittable. They want them to make game type decisions.
1-0 the count to Ethan Campbell. You mentioned something that's so interesting, whether it be the ground balls you take, that little slow rolling fungos, or the pitches that you swing at. Machines are helping out a lot more with batting practice. Simulating pitches that you would see. You're exactly right, Steve. There's that speed on display. He goes right past the bag, and he's in trouble now. Being chased down by Ince, and he is tagged out. I'm going to guess that's frustrating. Look, if you play a lot as you get ready for the season on the dirt, that slide might work perfectly. But this is an all-turf synthetic field, and he slid right past the bag.
Yeah, he did. He slid late, did Gupton, and he went right past the back. He did get it with the kitchen mitt on that is so common nowadays with guys running the bases, not wanting to jam their fingers. But he slid right past it, touched it, and said, let me just keep going to third because I can't go back to second right now. And it ended up that Ince ends up chasing him down and making the tag.
Oh, that's got to be frustrating. Brandon Pennington, the pitching coach for this team. Michael Avalon, the head coach, and a quick visit to the mound. Need to remind you that Slater Lott handles the hitters for Pearl River, and Brant Jones on the staff as well. That would frustrate me if I was Gupton. As that one's low and outside, 3-0 the count.
When I played, I would dive head first and stick. I mean, I would just hit and stick. Guys slide nowadays like Trey Turner. These guys slide like they're on ice.
No, you're exactly right. I mean, I think most of us in the real world, most of us real people, even on that turf would not
mere mortals
slide like he did, No. We may think we could as the 3-1 comes home. Good 3-1 pitch, 3-2. Connor Ware loves watching Max Fried pitch. He's from that part of the world, but this is a pitcher he'll tell you I've learned a lot from. That one's outside. Ball 4.
So again, early in the season right now, and we're talking about Connor Ware, whose season ended last year with a bit of a back problem. He talked about all the rehab that he went through, trying to get himself back to being game ready and field ready, and then working on the changeup as part of that as well. But you wonder when it comes to pitch limits where he might be.
Good breaking ball, but an even better take to Jeremy Todd. Reached on a fielder's choice back in the first inning, did Todd. Four hits, 3 walks to open the year in his first 3 games as he takes outside. The plate's getting a little slippery right now for Ware.
Darren, when a pitcher is throwing it to arm side and it means that his front shoulder's flying open, his arms dragging behind. Typically, it's when fatigue is setting in, when that happens. When the body's thinking, I got to try to generate power, and it runs away from the arm.
Outside, 3-0 the count. It happened again.
Yeah, all 3 batters in this inning. Remember, he walked Gupton, and then he was out as he slid past second base. Then he walked Campbell, and he's missing in the left-handed pitcher, the left-hand hitter's batter's box because his arm is just lagging his body.
So on 3-0, he finds the plate 3-1. And if you can think about it, to what Steve's saying, folks, think about a hitter. If that shoulder opens up early and quick, that's exactly the same thing. The bat will lag. Funny how similar pitching and hitting can be.
Really is.
You talk about those shoulders. 3-1, lifted. Right side, got underneath that one. Easy chance out there for Alex Wade.
I have 4
That's an
boys.
exhale. He needed that first out. Sorry about that, Steve.
He did. No, I have 4 boys, and they all played baseball. And, not all of them pitched, but when they did, when I saw them missing to the arm side, I would tell them, slow your body down and speed up your arm. That you've got to let your arm get out in front a little bit more, get extension. I would want to set up inside with the fastball right here to try to get him some extension out in front.
Yeah, that one a better spot, knee high. Outer half to the DH Cole Horton. Horton went down looking back in the first inning to end the first inning. Horton, another one who had that big start to the year. He's, as we told you earlier, got 2 home runs on his resume already. Horton got some playing time last year as a freshman, played in 29 games overall. Had an on-base of 505. Had 19 hits, but 23 walks. Was crazy patient as a freshman. Good off-speed pitch, overswing, 1-2.
Well, I love those young hitters that take their walks. I mean, what it does is allows you to get in more 2-0, 2-1, 3-1 counts that force the pitcher to throw it over the plate, and it makes you a better hitter when you're a good taker. Runner on the move, head first slide in there with a stolen base.
Ethan Campbell swipes a bag.
That's good baseball right there, right? 2 outs. Get the runner in scoring position, and with Horton at the plate, if for some reason make the last out there, then he leads off the next inning, a guy who's really driven the baseball and could hit a double next inning and put himself in scoring position.
Right in on the hands with the breaking ball. Awkward contact, but in time for the out. He tied him up. Thought he might be able to beat that one out. Didn't hit it hard. So this inning comes to an end. Stranding that runner in scoring position. They do get the dangerous Horton right in on his knuckles. 1-1 our score at the 2024 Visit Panama City Beach College Baseball Classic, Gulf Coast and Pearl River. Beautiful day in Panama City Beach, Florida. Glad to have you with us, Steve Phillips, Darren Sutton, and you baseball fans. That's right, it's college baseball season. It's college baseball broadcast time, and here on Perfect Game TV, we're glad you found us. Whether you're on the brand new Perfect Game TV app or you're watching us online, if you're watching online, go get that app on any of your smart devices. As the first pitch hacking, Logan Terry, the catcher, not waiting around. It's a high fly ball to right field where Campbell makes the play in time for the out. And a quick reminder, if you go get that app on your smart TV, you're not just watching on your laptop then, you're watching on your beautiful 70-inch screen. And we want that. We want you to get the app. You love that if you're buyers. Quick out, 1 pitch. Comes right back with a pitch that sails just a little bit high. This is Trent Wright, the DH, who struck out back in the second inning. One and one.
Good pitch right there, coming down with the fastball, right? Changing the hitter's eye level. Both these starters have gone with a high fastball almost exclusively in this game, and then mixing in breaking ball and change, but goes down with the fastball right there.
Trent looks at a breaking ball that sweeps right behind that back knee.
Good pitch, right? Tried to throw the breaking pitch in the same plane where he had thrown the fastball. That's an excellent take by Trent Wright.
Dad Trent played football at Ole Miss as he has to back out of there, was a 4-year letter winner. And his grandfather played football at Southern Miss, but his journey was as a baseball player. Drafted out of high school by the Orioles, but then he took that football route, passed on the Orioles, and went and played at Southern Miss. Good 3-1 hack, but he comes up empty. And by the way, if you look at Wright's body type, the strength with Avalon looking on from that dugout, he's a big-time high school football player. You can see it in his frame.
Yeah, he looks like it.
Got him. Dug himself out of a 3-1 hole, so he gets a 1-pitch out. And then the next one was an opportunity to dig out of a 3-1 hole. Avalon inside that dugout. In complex dugouts, that's what you see. You don't see the traditional dig out and where the word dugout is applied, you kind of more behind a caged chain link situation. But this complex, because of its beauty, the ability to host multiple elite games all around, PG has loved their relationship here with Panama City Beach. Here at the Publix Sports Park, it's gorgeous. 2-0. Katsaboulas. Jonah goes after the 2-0 pitch. Fly ball, center field. Well, that was easy.
Yeah.
Word right through that inning. 3 up, 3 down. The first clean inning for Riley Byers. Let's see what this does to his offense. Maybe gets him back in there swinging it a little bit more quickly. We move along to the bottom half. Gulf Coast getting ready to go here at the Panama City Beach College Baseball Classic.
Oh, yeah. Been waiting for this one.
On Ware, who certainly Steve Phillips is a prospect.
Oh, absolutely. You can certainly understand why LSU has strong interest in this young man, and he's committed there. 93-mile-per-hour fastball, tall, loose, lanky left-hander, really good feel for the breaking ball, and a development of the changeup has been a really good pitch for him. I liked what I saw with him on the mound. Very athletic and good repeatable delivery and a nice projectable body.
And so a right-handed arm. Brant Balcom deals with someone from the other side. A couple of lefties started this game. Brant fly to center back in the second inning. And the first pitch is up and away. In high school at Pearl River Central, he played for Coach Neil Walther. Caleb Dias. Nice fastball right at the knees, outside corner. 1-1 the count.
Boy, it just looks so different seeing a fastball down in the zone, right? We haven't seen many of those.
Skips a breaking ball to the backstop. We saw Dias at Perfect Game Events back in 2022, in September of 2022, just outside of Atlanta. Touched 90 miles an hour back then. That's a couple of years ago. So one could guess that has increased since then as that one's lifted deep toward left field, toward the wall it goes, and it's gone.
That ball just kept carrying right there. And Marshall Phillips looked like he was having some difficulty. He was sort of drifting on it instead of trying to get to the wall to make a play, as it just seemed like it kept carrying away. As he hits it out of the ballpark. Good piece of hitting.
That's Brant Balcom's first home run of the year. It puts Gulf Coast on top, 2-1.
Yeah, he got all of that one. He got some leverage on it. Certainly got some launch angle to it. And yeah, hit it out of the park. Both center field and left field. Fowler and Mark Phillips got to the wall, but watched it go over.
First pitch was a ball. Second pitch sails high and inside. 2-0 the count. Well, we've got ourselves a homer. Makes it a real broadcast now. 2-0 the count. Rosek walked back in the second inning as he wags that bat. 2-1.
I think for the hitters, maybe a bit of relief getting Connor Ware out of the game. They're like, okay, now anybody else looks like they might be easier to hit.
Funny the baseball memories that we have. Drew Prosek. I was connecting with him. I said, hey, what's your most memorable baseball time period? He said, look, in 2021, high schooler, went on a trip to Texas, New Mexico, and Arizona. We got stuck in a snowstorm on the way home. We slept in a small motel, don't really remember the name, right at the Mexico border. Funny, the journeys that we go on for the game we love.
Amazing.
And it wasn't a state championship. It wasn't, an amazing chance in front of a scout. That's one of his most unique baseball memories, and I love it that it is. 2-2 the count. He won 4 state championships, by the way, as a baseball player. Breaking ball. Good pitch outside corner. That's strike 3.
That's a good pitch. That over the top. He's got the over the top, sort of the Iron Mike, the old pitching machine where it kind of swings around right over the top with the fastball. Now he comes over the top with that curveball as well. I would like to see him start hitters off with the get-me-over curveball, right? They're going to look for the fastball, get over a curveball, then work from there.
Went back to the fastball. I'm liking what you're suggesting. That makes a lot of sense. I've always used a simple statement about that pitch. It scrambles the hitter's brains then, right? Because you dig in thinking, all right, ready for fastball, ready for fastball. You just scramble their plan if you drop in a curveball for a strike.
And then they're confused about what comes next.
1-1 the count. There's that breaking ball, gets a swing and a miss. Fastball, by the way, has lived low 90s. He's touched 91 miles an hour thus far. How about the Iron Mike reference, folks? I love that. Breaking ball, good take.
Good take right there. That's the breaking ball that college pitchers tend to shy away from, the one that bounces in the dirt, that starts in the strike zone and then breaks out of the strike zone, that the hitter swings over the top of because it looks like it's strike out of the pitcher's hand, and then you break it out of the zone.
3-2 the count. Look, you folks remember that, right? You young athletes, the pitching machine where the arm comes around, picks up the baseball, and then fires it out to you. You've seen it. Fastball, it's high, it's ball 4.
I think the other thing to keep in mind, for many of these pitchers particularly, it's their first time on the mound this year. You've got, and I never wanted to judge anybody on their first time out, that, there's emotions, there's energy, excitement, and that can get in the way of mechanics, that your energy takes over your body, and, you need some time to adjust.
So we keep that in mind with Caleb Dias. He was at Meridian Community College last year. He hit .352 last year as a hitter, so this is a guy with a good, strong resume. Didn't see the mound at all last year, so he's trying to grow his game as this pitcher. Prove that he can hit at the JUCO level. He fires that one over to first. Banks Byers singled back in the second inning. Flip that one in there. Good curveball, 1-2.
Right, up in the zone. The curveball up in the zone right there. Now, change the hitter's eye level. I would go fastball down in the zone.
He threw exactly what you wanted, and he rolled it foul. That was a really good pitch. Good spoil, but a good pitch.
Yeah, boy, both guys did a nice job right there. Well-executed pitch, but also a nice job fighting it off. Right, live for the next pitch. Stay alive, put it in play, cut down your swing. So many times now, certainly in professional baseball, Major League Baseball, guys are taking the same swing with 2 strikes as they take with no strikes on them. You see the adjustments many of these college hitters make.
Steve, I worked for a half decade as an announcer with Mark Grace, who had such an amazing career, and he said, you never read the article when you read about the big hit that a hitter got, about the pitch that he fouled off 2 pitches before to stay alive. He said, for me, that was my entire at-bat most of the time.
I remember that with him.
That's what we're talking about 2 pitches ago. Fights that one off toward the right side. They'll get one hurrying on the first. What a pretty turn that was. Ince to Robertson to Porter, a 4-6-3 double play. He did fight off a pitch earlier, but he was tied up looking for the breaking ball with the fastball in. Excellent pitch. There was a blast in this inning, though. Brant Bauckham was very excited to see a different arm out there when he watched Caleb Dias. He liked it. He saw it. He drove it on out of here. Things are sailing very nicely in Panama City Beach, Florida, with Gulf Coast leading it over Pearl River out of Mississippi at the end of 4, 2-1. You know you've built a good junior college program when you introduce a pitcher out there on the mound and he goes to work. Ezekiel Rojas. He's telling you Delray Beach, Florida. He's actually from Denver, Colorado. And when you have an athlete from Denver, Colorado find your program and have it be the right fit, all the way down in Florida, you've done your job. His name is Ezekiel Rojas. Steve Phillips, we saw him at a perfect game event a couple of years back. And when I say a couple, I mean 2.5 years back. And he lived at that point in the high 80s, 87 miles an hour, fastball, curveball, changeup. Here's Rojas as he goes to work.
He's a 6'1", 160-pounder, so loose and lanky for sure.
He zips that fastball away. Riley Byers done for the day. Riley Byers is on top 2-1 as that one is lifted. Ince, center field. Hanging with it, making the play out there is Michael Gupton.
Must be a little bit of wind blowing out there.
Last time up. I know. It's funny. We talked about the late break that Gupton got earlier. And this one, it was almost the elements having more fun with him.
And then we saw even on the home run, both outfielders, left field, center field, looked like they thought they had a beat on it. But then it traveled over the wall. So there must be some breeze there, as is often the case in Florida this time of year.
Good fastball. He buries that one in on the hands. This is Bryce Fowler. It's been fun to watch Fowler today. I mean, he's got a couple of hits. The redshirt sophomore, the center fielder. Looks the part, certainly. That one's in.
You know, Darren, he takes a nice, calm step at the plate. Good soft takes, not jumping at the baseball.
That one's grounded out towards short. Played off to the left side by Creek Robertson. 6-3 in the books. 2 outs in the inning. What's fun about this event, Steve, and it's almost like what the NBA does in the middle of the season. It's not just round robin. It's you play to win. Now, you are guaranteed your games, but I think that's fun for these athletes. They're playing towards a true championship. Texas is represented, Illinois is represented, and Florida and Alabama as well.
I love it. They're all going to get at least 4 games, but they're playing for a trophy, and I love that outcome, right? Make it worth something while you're going there. It's not just exhibition games and going out there, but make it where you're fighting for a trophy.
1-1 the count. Greg Robertson walked a couple of times. And he pops that one foul. Jack Reynolds, the shortstop. Made that play a moment ago. Fellow shortstops here. Jack looks on. Creek waves right through that one. That's a strong inning. Good slider. There was a fly out to center. There was a ground ball to short. And it was a 1-2-3 inning. Ezekiel Rojas from Colorado. How's that for a freshman? Welcome to college baseball, young man. I think you might fit in nicely. His team's on top 2-1.
I never let myself believe that I was gonna be in the big leagues. I always worked for it until I achieved it. Back in Puerto Rico, I remember my dad would hit me ground balls from the top of the hill. That forced me to always move my feet. There were no limits to where I could go, so I played with no limits.
Players are certainly glad to be here, especially the host, the Gulf Coast team. They make it clear we know this area. This is our home as they get ready to go to work. And the left-handed bat from Caleb Dias takes outside and off the plate. A lot of noise in the dugout. You can hear it. Jack Reynolds leads things off, and he takes high.
Top of the order, looking to get something going. Extend the lead.
Good pitch right under the knuckles there, and that's a tough one to do anything with.
Yeah, it looks like he might have taken that off his kneecap. He fouled it off. He's got the little shin guard on if you're going to, for a left-handed hitter, so you don't hit it off your shin or your foot. But I think that fouled off and hit his kneecap.
Jumping Jack Reynolds doubled in the first inning. Struck out in the second, as you saw on that graphic. Takes that pitch in, pulls it, first base side, stumbles as it's gobbled up by the second baseman, Ince, who makes the play in time for the out.
You know, it's interesting, on Reynolds' double in his first at-bat, he slipped coming out of the batter's box then, too. I don't know if it's slick in there or what, maybe doesn't have the right spikes on, but it's the second time he's fallen.
It's interesting you'd say that. Again, I didn't, and I don't think you did, play on surfaces like this, but the athletes will tell you that it's the plastic, the mold spikes that you need, not the traditional spikes on the synthetic turf like this. That's what they say anyway. Michael Gupton, the speedy Gupton. It's a good breaking ball, 1-1 the count.
I grew up in Detroit. We played on all sandlot fields. There was no grass infields there. It was all dirt with nails and glass.
Okay. I don't know what kind of spikes you need for that. Boy, if you make this play, that field is high, the throw, and Gupton went into a head-first slide. He's got incredible speed. Think he would have legged it out anyway, and a nice job backing that one up. He reaches on an infield single.
You know, I wonder if along the way, with this kind of speed, if somebody will talk to him about switch hitting. The idea of utilizing that speed from both sides of the plate. But because he has the kind of speed that if he touches it and puts it in play to the left side of the infield, he's got a really good chance of beating that out.
That's so well said. Yeah, fast enough certainly not only to move along with anything in the dirt, steal bases, but fast enough to monitor his slides. He needs to learn how to tone that part down just a bit.
Yeah, he needs to start sliding when he's halfway to the bag. I mean, that is really tough. Obviously, they're well aware of his speed, trying to hold him close at first base. I love this, though. I mean, you're up 2-1. See if you can't just get something going right here. Let's get a stolen base.
Dias really aware of him as that one is lifted. Right field, hugs the line, heading toward the corner that one goes. And running out of room out there is Alex Wade.
I mean, here's the thing is that baseball is a game of skill. Tools are really important. Speed is really important. It helps offense and defense. Power is really important. But there's a reason why bodybuilders and weightlifters can't play baseball and sprinters don't play baseball. It's a skill to play the game. Tools are important, but the skills are the most important.
And those skills are what Gupton is trying to hone in to be able to take advantage of that game-changing speed. Local product in Ethan Campbell, the beneficiary of a pitcher. Campbell is the hitter, very much benefiting from a pitcher that's got a split mind right now. And you love that if you're the hitter. Not a pitch like that, though. That was a focused pitch, 1-2.
Yeah, interesting slide step going to the plate, knowing that Gupton's on first and trying to give an opportunity to Logan Terry to throw him out if he goes, but still able to get on top of that breaking ball, get it out in front, and get some really nice bite on it.
Such a great point, Steve, and a pitch you probably aren't thinking. He goes back to it, breaking ball, brings the hands in, lifts that one left field. It's playable. Put away out there by Marshall Phillips, 2 outs in the inning. Then to go along with the slide step, the simple-minded baseball person would just think, okay, well, it's got to be slide step and it's got to be fastball. There's no way he's taking a chance on bouncing a breaking ball, and he threw him 2 in a row.
And you know, listen, you have to be able to throw both pitches, but sometimes with that short stride, you get caught hanging the breaking ball.
That second one not quite as sharp, to your point, but effective. Jeremy Todd takes up 1-0 the count. Fly to right, reached on a fielder's choice. Steve Phillips, Darren Sutton, glad to have you spending time with us at the Panama City Beach College Baseball Classic. Well, that's a nice take.
Good pitch. I don't know. You may have caught a break right there, Jeremy Todd. That was an excellent pitch. Another breaking ball just off the corner. Started on the corner, broke off a little bit. Didn't quite get the call. I never liked it when the first baseman, he'd throw over and they'd slap that tag on you, like harder than they needed to.
This man on the mound, it was September 23rd, 2021, when he went through all of his thoughts and choices and made his commitment to pitch for this school, to play for this school, Caleb Dias. Pearl River baseball. As that one is low. Run on the move, throw down, beautiful throw, waiting on him. Right on top of the bag.
I think that's ball 4. They called ball 4 at the plate.
It was ball 4. You're exactly right.
Interesting, though, because Gupton, was called out on the steal. Now, again, it's ball 4, so the inning continues. But he almost left second base to go back to the dugout on it. He gets a pretty good jump, but he would have been thrown out on the play. Nice, by the way, Logan Terry, excellent throw right there. You're talking about a guy with world-class speed. He thinks he's out, does Gupton, and almost got off the base to walk back to the dugout before he realized that it was ball 4 on Jeremy Todd.
So Cole Horton, who is 0 for 2. Gupton heading back. What's the call here?
So Gupton was going back to second base thinking about a potential pickoff, and he pushed into Creek Robertson at second, and now they're arguing a little bit out on the field right now. So Gupton broke back to second base, and Creek Robertson was in the base pass, so Gupton pushed him. And so initially, it looked like they were going to throw Gupton out of the game, but now what they're doing is they're advancing the runners, which, again, is not interference if he was going back to second base, so I'm not exactly sure why they're advancing the runners on this play. Because there wasn't an attempt to get him out. Oh, was it?
Yeah, I think they've called the balk. I think that's the only way you could advance the runners is you end up calling a balk, Steve. But to your point, there were two parts to this play. The interaction between the fielder and the base runner, which got physical, and then in the middle, kind of the buckling when that occurred with the man on the mound. Let's see if we can see here.
So you see Gupton leading off. And so Creek Robertson was touching Gupton on the bases.
Is this a hidden ball, Steve Phillips? Is that what we're seeing here?
I don't even know. He doesn't have the ball. Oh,
yes,
he does have the ball. Wow, he does have the ball. But here's the thing. When you pull off the hidden ball trick, my understanding is the pitcher has to be off the dirt on the infield.
He was on the rubber.
That's exactly
right.
what it was. Right.
That's
so
why
you
it's a
cannot
ball.
be right. You cannot be straddling the mound while the infield has the ball. So it was the hidden ball trick, which, by the way, I pulled off the hidden ball trick. I pulled off the hidden ball trick 7 times in the minor leagues. And so,
Really?
so there he is on the mound kicking the dirt when you see them trying to go there. That is a balk. You're exactly right. That's the call on it.
Well, and that's why Gupton nudged him. He didn't realize he had the ball and basically
Right.
was saying with his body or his language, get your glove off me. If you're going to pick to second, that's fine, but get your glove off me, realizing then the ball was in his glove. But at the same time, he's not hurrying back or he's taking a safe lead because the pitcher's coming set, obviously that's a balk then.
Now I want to try to figure out how did Creek Robertson get the ball, right? Because remember, right? How did that happen that he actually got the ball? And I think it was, after ball 4, he ended up getting the ball back.
Yeah, somehow, maybe this is the quick conversation. I think it happened so fast that the one person that missed how to pull it off, and I think it was Creek trying to work quickly, was the pitcher. Where you have to saunter around the mound as that one is rolled foul, almost as if you're reflecting. Don't come set up on the rubber. You can't do that. Yeah, this is the steal here. Let's see.
Right, so you have Ince flips it to Creek Robertson, and Robertson then holds on to the ball after the steal.
Fired across the diamond and in time for the out on the ground, and that will end things. Well, who would think that wonderful junior college baseball and, of course, remote broadcasting from Connecticut and Arizona would present this much fun already? Steve Phillips, Darren Sutton through 5. We've got hidden balls. We've got shoving on the field. And by the way, that means college baseball is here. On to the 6th we go. Panama City Beach College Baseball Classic. Phillips and Sutton and you, thanks for being with all of us. We enjoyed watching number 4 on the mound, Ezekiel Rojas, in his first inning as he dives that one low to the dangerous slugger, Hollis Porter. Struck out and flied to left field. 2-1. Porter hits it hard out toward short, leaving his feet and making a fine play on a slide is Jack Reynolds, 1 out. That ball was hard hit.
Yeah, it's almost like it took a funny hop on him, and he reversed direction there, but a really nice athletic play to then get to your feet, make the throw. And again, understanding not a lot of speed with Porter. He's more of the power guy, so you can take your time. Knowing the opposition and how much time you have is critical.
You were saying you love the athleticism and the bounce and the step of this pitcher, Rojas.
Yeah, I think a different look than what Riley Byers had, just an energy. Reminds you of Tristan McKenzie a little bit with the Cleveland Guardians. Sort of the loose, lanky, slinger, athletic, high-energy guy.
Breaking ball inside corner. Wrapped the slider around the plate, and that energy has a couple of quick outs.
You know, when you're out there throwing strikes, the infield and the outfield behind you stays in the game. And here he is right there, executing sort of a backup breaking ball, and locks up the hitter in Phillips and gets him to take the call.
And he fires strike one right away to Alex Wade. I love the Tristan McKenzie comp. One of my favorite amateurs when we covered him as a PG All-American, and then obviously who he is in the major leagues. We hardly had a chance to talk about you, Ezequiel Rojas. Just a couple of pitches. You got a ground ball to short, a backwards K, and a fly out to center field as we move right along in this 2-1 game. I'll tell you, that's fun. You keep them right there, middle of the sixth.
What's going on, guys? I am with Soldier Sports, and they just newly released their Tank BB Core Drop 3. The pop is insane. It's got an incredibly good feel. Feels a little bit like a Voodoo with that balance feel. The hand is great, little flare knob. But we're going to take some swings here, check out some exit velos, and see how it tests. 97. 99. So as you can see, I mean, this thing's hot. It's got great feel. I'm really loving it, so go check it out. Soldier Sports US. Let's go.
Being in the wild is the best when you're with your family. We do all kinds of different things at camp. Go fish, surf, dive. I think I'll probably be coming out here the rest of my life.
So it was fun watching Brant Balcom see Caleb Dias, a right-handed pitcher, Steve, for the first time, because he had been dealing with lefties, and he loved what he saw.
He did. Got a fastball up in the zone, and sometimes just getting an ace out of the game makes everybody believe now is our time to start to score some runs. He hit one out last time. We'll see what he does here this time.
When I used to call it anybody but, when a pitcher was throwing well, as that one is fouled off in that dugout, you say, hey, man, anybody but the guy we were facing, and we don't care who it is. And that was the approach that he had, Brant did, and the first time he saw Caleb Dias. The third baseman is a sophomore, and he takes a pitch low, 1-1 the count.
I really like that pitch
that one
right
over
there.
The
Gary.
outside.
He threw the fastball, he got the foul ball, then threw a curveball for a ball, but he came right back with it. He doubled up on it, got the feel for it the second time, and really executed the pitch.
Pretty good take from the one-time Georgia Tech athlete. He's found his way to the junior college ranks. Last year at Georgia Tech, 16 total at-bats. He'll have that in one weekend this year in the JUCO ranks.
And I think that is such an important factor for players who have visions of, even at D1 schools and getting a four-year school or to play professional baseball, you don't get better sitting and watching all the time.
Jumps on that one, lines that one toward left field. It's down for a base hit. And his dugout reacts.
Jumped on the fastball after seeing 3 straight breaking balls. You saw Diaz go back to the fastball, and Buckham was ready for it.
Buckham went to Buford High School, so he stayed home for just a bit when he went to Georgia Tech. Buford, suburbs of Atlanta. Dad Kenny played college baseball at West Georgia. He passes the baton to Drew Prosak, who takes up and away. Drew has walked and struck out. Mom is Brett, Dad is Andy, and his younger brother is Cole. And I guarantee you Cole is watching Drew very closely as he goes through this journey. Mom, by the way, played softball at Arkansas. Three and 0.
Drew reminds me of Adam Frazier a little bit. You know, it's always interesting when I watch players, I look for comps, right? What do they look like? What type of guy? A little bit of an Adam Frazier, smallish second baseman, good eye at the plate.
3 and 1. Adam Frazier, a PG All-American. Your comps are fun. They really are to have you and all the players you've seen in that scout's eye, that player development eye. I love those comps. That's back-to-back. I was geeked out on McKenzie, and I love the Frazier. 3 and 1. Not the swing he wanted. It's 3 and 2 now. He got a center-cut fastball that time.
Now, I suspect I would start the runner right here. Baucom at first base. Figuring Prosak is a guy that does put the ball in play. And I wonder whether he's going to – I'd throw him the curveball right here because I think he might get a swing and miss with it.
He's aware of that runner for sure.
Yeah, they're thinking along with me that you start the runner in this situation and try to at least stay out of a double play, figuring that Prosak will make some contact. But you might get a strike him out, throw him out if he throws him the curveball.
Drew loves watching Christian Yelich hit. That's one of his idols as he takes inside, and that's ball 4. Good at bat.
Good at bat. They did not start the runner in that moment. Wonder if a bunt, sack bunt might come into play right here. Colin Lindsay up, who struck out and looking and then walked in his second at bat.
Lindsay found his way to Gulf Coast from Westfield, Indiana. Played for the Indiana Bulls travel team. We saw Max Clark with that commercial between our break. Max Clark, one of the new faces of Soldier Bat, the official bat of Perfect Game. Max Clark also played for that Indiana Bulls travel team, now a Detroit Tigers prospect.
I'll tell you what, he's not going to be in the minor leagues long either. They love him in Detroit. He can hit.
Breaking ball, ground ball. The play is out in front. Boy, that's a nice decision. Well played by Creek Robertson.
Very well played. I mean, ranging to his right, understanding you're not going to get 2 right there. Get the lead runner, and obviously with the runner on second base, typically if the ground ball's hit in front of you, you don't run, but you had to with the runner on first behind him. But well executed, well played, getting the out.
Number 9 hitter is Banks Byers. He singled back in the second inning, also rolled into a 4-6-3 double play. Banks has a fastball in, frustrated that he went after it as he pops that one up shallow right field. And ranging all the way over is Creek Robertson, the shortstop, who comes over and makes the play for the out.
Keep an eye on the
baseball. He just saw it better than anybody else, right?
Keep the eye on the baseball, the hidden ball trick again. I mean, that is one where, and I pulled it off, and that's where you would do it. Like you catch the pop up, and then what everybody does, they look at the next hitter, say, hey, come on, drive him in, and nobody pays attention about the infielder throwing the ball back to the pitcher. But he did throw it back in that time. But now everybody's aware. You got to keep an eye on the ball.
Here's Jack Reynolds. We're flipping the lineup over, and that breaking ball is high to Jack. 1-0 the count. Jack doubled back in the first inning. He scored to open up this ball game. Also struck out and grounded out. Slightly open stance in the left batter's box. 2 breaking balls have missed. 2-0.
One of the times I would do it is you're man on first. They did a sacrifice bunt. I'm playing second base. I'd come over, cover first base, get the throw to get the out at first, and nobody would pay attention. I'd run right back to second base and tag the runner out.
I'm amazed that you had kept count. That's pretty impressive. Although it's such a unique thing to do. The number was 9. Is that what it was?
7 times.
7.
Yep. And then I got hit with a pitch afterwards about 6 of those times.
3 and 1 to count.
We had Jim
not
Fergosi,
an old school baseball. Come on,
Jim,
not an
Jim
old school
Fergosi
baseball.
Jr. I was in Texas League. Jim Fergosi Jr. is leading off second. We had lost the first 11 games of the season. I got him on a hidden ball trick, and he said, "How about a hidden win trick? Why don't you guys win a game?"
Grounded out. Boy, played on a backhand. Took a bad hop. Nice recovery. Nice play out there by Creek Robertson, the hidden ball king, in time for the out. It's getting late. One last chance for Pearl River. They're down a run. 2-1 the count, and the score as well as we move along to the 7th inning. Great junior college baseball, and Craig Cozart, one of the great scouts for Perfect Game, 2.5 decades. He was an assistant or a head coach at the college level. He extols the virtues of junior college baseball as it has evolved.
There's just so many, positives to that. First and foremost, when it comes to the academic side of things, you're taking care of your prerequisites just like you would your first couple years at a four-year school. So academically, it's the same. But, physically and emotionally, it gives you a chance to develop if you're not quite there yet from a physical standpoint. But I think the greatest benefit for junior colleges is how much they get to play. I mean, they'll play 30, 40 games in the fall, not to mention their 50 or 60 in the spring. So you're getting 100-plus real on-field games experience before, you transition to a four-year school. So junior college is not like it used to be. It used to be, back in the day, roll the ball out and, just kind of fend for yourself. These guys develop. They have tremendous resources, and the competitive level across the nation from a junior college standpoint has never been better.
And one out as we look on. That one's rolled hard off the bat of Logan Terry. Steve Phillips, Darren Sutton. Again, your thoughts, Steve, on what Craig just said.
Yeah, I think that from an academic point of view, you go to a four-year school, the first couple of years you're taking prerequisite courses. You can do that at a junior college. But it is the opportunity to get playing time, and rather than sitting and watching, to get reps, because that's how you get better. Makes a lot of sense. And development, the game has changed so much. Everybody is studying the game, and many of the junior college coaches are as good as any coach at a four-year school. And they know what they're talking about. They're studied, they're practiced, and they are experienced. It's a great opportunity for these kids, just the playing time alone. And again, scouts will find you. If you can play, Look, they're getting evaluated right now by dozens of professional scouts and maybe some college coaches too watching this from four-year schools, that if you're sitting on the bench at a four-year school, nobody's seeing you.
He went around on that one. That was an opportunity, speaking of opportunities, for Caston Thompson, the redshirt freshman, to pinch hit out of JS Mississippi. I think we told you initially that was Trent Wright. That was Caston Thompson getting the call. The big slugger, 6'3", 230, but he sits him down on strikes. All great points Steve Phillips is making as we watch Ezekiel Rojas try to end this game with a fastball high and tight, up and in off the plate. Hey, by the way, hang with us within the next 40 minutes or so, about a half hour after the end of this game. It's McLennan out of Texas. It's State College of Florida. We'll just keep the beat on going as that one's lifted toward left field. Over, under, out. And game one of this event goes to Gulf Coast. They are victorious by a score of 2-1. A lot to like about this game, Steve Phillips. A well-played game. It was sharp. There was some timely hitting, and there was some really good pitching.
Boy, Ezekiel Rojas came in, and this is an example. Throw strikes. Don't put base runners on. Don't get in trouble. Make your defense make plays behind you. I love it. And obviously on the other side of it, Creek Robertson made some really nice plays at shortstop. The big home run from Brant Baucom, the difference in this game. But a well-played game here early in the season.
Yeah, we celebrate college baseball, and we're going to keep on celebrating. As we said, in about 37 minutes from now, it's McLennan, and they're a great program right near Baylor out of Texas. In Waco, it's State College of Florida, a strong program. We're going to be introducing you to an entirely brand new roster. We take a break, you take a break, but just keep it right here on the great programming of Perfect Game TV. And we always remind you, if you're watching online, make sure to go grab on any smart device the Perfect Game TV app. Gulf Coast is victorious. They are 3-0, now 4-0 to open the year. On behalf of Steve Phillips, I'm Darren Sutton. We'll see you in about 40 minutes. Peace. Hi there, folks. We're glad you found us. Go ahead and settle in down front. Grab a notebook, grab a pen or a pencil in order to make some notes with that. I can find my pen for just a moment. But you need to settle in because this review of 2022 is going to be a bunch of fun. Here's what we're doing on this class review. We're focusing on the 2026 class. In other words, freshmen, the very best arms. So arms that are freshmen. And when you think about that, the impact, this is the recruiting age. And with that in mind, the king of recruitment, Jeremy Brown, the great writer and scout, will join us as we get to know the big arms in the freshman class around North America. Let's start with the man who back-to-back years was Perfect Game's National Pitcher of the Year. A young man by the name of C.J. Sampson. He's got illustrious athletic history. He was on Team USA's 12U team, got cut. He said it inspired him certainly to grow, and he has grown. A quarterback by trade when you put him on a football field, but this man is all athlete and all pitcher. His dad, Chris, pitched in the big leagues for the Houston Astros. Here's the story of 2026.
My dad pitched in the MLB. My dad's name is Chris Sampson. He pitched 6 years in the MLB, 5 years for the Houston Astros, 1 year with the Miami Marlins. And I'm like, okay, this is where I have to be. I'm here now. This is where I have to be when I get old. I just work every day at it, and I want to get better and better and better until I'm to that point. The best advice my dad's given me is probably to never give up and to never let the moment get too big for you. I love being in big situations, but he always tells me you have to take a deep breath, don't let the moment get too big. So this glove right here, this glove's about 15 years old. I'm 15 years old, this glove's about 15 years old. My dad had a contract with Wilson when he was playing in the MLB. And when I was a baby, he got this glove for me. He had this exact same glove, but he put my name on it. I actually have a baby picture of me laying inside of this glove. And it's been sitting in my room for the longest time, ever since I was a little kid. And this year's the first year that I've actually broken it out and pitched with it, and it's worked very well. It means a lot. I mean, it's treated me great. It's time, like just take a deep breath in situations like that, and I ended up striking out the last guy to get out of it.
Good, yeah. When you're in big situations, I mean, you just gotta, like say, take deep breaths and trying to slow the game down as much as possible and really focus on just one pitch at a time. You gotta execute one pitch when, you're kind of in a jam, which, you always do. So that's good, man. Good job. Proud of you, man.
Thank you.
We'll keep doing what you're doing, keep working hard, and go get them again tomorrow, buddy.
Yes, sir.
All right, buddy. Love you.
All right, love you too.
All right, man.
Bye.
Bye.
My hopes and dreams for my life is to ultimately make it to the MLB and make it very far in this game and just prove a lot of people right and prove a lot of people wrong. And that's my hopes and dreams.
Yeah, it had to be a lot of fun for him and his dad to watch the Astros and Dusty Baker win the World Series this year. We'll see where he's headed, and for more perspective on that, we bring in the great writer and scout, the director of all things 13 and 14U Festival, Jeremy Brown, as he joins us now. Hey, happy holidays. Thanks for hanging out with us, man. We're about to learn from you.
Same to you, my friend. Thanks for having me on.
Tell us about CJ. I mentioned in the lead that he got motivated when he didn't make the 12U team. You guys have seen him at 13 and 14. He's been really good since then. He's kind of an all-around athlete like his dad, who was very athletic. But what do you see as a scout in CJ?
Absolutely. So I was talking about the Finest in the Field article we have coming out here shortly for the 26 class. And with Sampson, if he wasn't as good as he is on the mound, you could very well see him committing as a left-handed hitter, left-handed hitting third baseman. He's that type of athlete, two-way presence. But on the mound, you know, at our tournaments, we have a 2-hour time limit for every game to keep things rolling. Anytime CJ Sampson's on the mound, you know you're getting in and out of that game. I mean, the numbers speak for themselves. 2-time player of the year. This past year, through 66 and 1/3 innings, struck out 104 and walked only 4. Like, that's just not even video game numbers, because video game numbers, you're going to have your faults here and there. But CJ Sampson, up to 86 miles per hour, can literally put the ball in a Dixie cup wherever he wants to around the strike zone. Knows how to sequence, so that probably comes from dad, the finer nuances of pitching. And the velocity is only going to continue to climb. As that climbs, you're looking at one of the top arms in the 2026 class.
H, how old are you? Remind me.
32.
Okay, so that's a really cool old man reference, putting the ball in a Dixie cup. Well done. That's old man scout talk. I used to hear my dad talk like that, so well done by you. So let's keep scouting. Maybe there's some more Dixie cup guys. You mentioned 86 for Sampson. Mills Carrillo, at that same age, is a young man who's touched 90 already. Put that in perspective on who this pitcher is. We're going to right-handers now.
Absolutely. So Mills started the 14U game for the East squad this year, and it was a summer where he continued to trend upwards throughout almost every start. You saw something new. The velocity was climbing, or he reined in some control. And as that happens, you're looking at a cutter in the mid-80s, a four-seam that just absolutely runs in on hands in the upper 80s, breaking ball, slider, changeup, you name it, he's got it. He's a really intelligent kid off the field. I think he brings some of that on the mound. Kind of knows how to set up hitters, but also isn't afraid to just go in pure attack mode with the stuff he has. And that's what we saw the first inning of the 14U Select Festival. He was in and out, and just a quick day's work for him.
So Mills Carrillo is an uncommitted athlete. He's from Florida. Nicholas Bradley is committed to Auburn. He's from Pennsylvania. Right-handed pitcher, East Coast Ghost Mocha, and another talented right-handed arm.
Yeah, the best word to describe Bradley is electric. The fastball just absolutely jumps out of his hand. We saw him at the 13U Festival last year, one of the harder throwers, mid-80s. We saw him this summer, upper 80s, flirting 90, 91 with the fastball already. He's a high-level quarterback prospect. The future is on the mound, already committed to Auburn, as you mentioned. We kind of have a pipeline in the Mid-Atlantic going to Auburn as of late. And Bradley's another one that, at the end of the day, he could very well be in contention for the top arm in the class.
Braden Harris, I'd love to talk about him. He's already committed. He's going to Florida State. And this is kind of the age of commitment, by the way. You really are seeing a lot of athletes. That's when they reach out to you. Harris is from Orange Park, Florida, and as we mentioned, Florida State will be his stop. He plays for that great travel program, the Florida Burn.
Yeah. I mean, that roster alone is ridiculous with D1 commits. And with Harris, I think he's led the nation in innings pitched the last 2 years. He's not afraid to go out to Texas. He's obviously based in Florida. So we see him a ton there, jump over to Hoover, and every time you see him, he's that consistent mid-80s fastball, touches a little better, but it's the breaking ball. It's a hammer curveball. It's probably the best curveball in the class right now. He's implemented a slider. He was a two-way player of the year for us at the 14U level this past year, so there is some thump in the bat there as well. As you had mentioned, FSU commit, new coaching staff there. He's staying firm, likes them. Everything is working well in his favor, and he's really established himself as one of the most dominant arms at the 14U level this past summer.
Before we move to lefties, and there are a couple at the top of that southpaw class that are incredible. Excited to get to know them. I wanted to ask you about Matthew Sharman. He's from Georgia, and he's kind of fallen into that risers group. He's up to 32 amongst all overall players, but Sharman is a guy that you've seen a lot of as well.
Yeah, primary shortstop this spring, and kind of caught our attention with what he did with the bat. Would jump on the mound, show some arm strength, 83, 84. Big, long body, 6'3"-ish, maybe an inch better. And then comes out in the fall, the fastball's up to 89, commits to Georgia not that long after, and with the frame, the athleticism, how the arm works on the mound, and the jumps he's made in such a short period, there's no reason to think that he's not going to continue to climb, and that 32 might just be a resting point for him on his ascension towards the top.
So when we look at the 2026 class, and we look all the way down to number 14, we see all position players. Now, these bats can pitch, some of them, but they're primary position players.
Right.
Outside of one, the number 2 player in the class amongst all those position players is a left-handed pitcher. His name is Cruz Schoolcraft. He's out of Oregon. We loved getting to know him. He had some fun at the All-American banquet at the Select Festival banquet, one of the best pitchers. He's number 2 in the land. Why?
I mean, he's like CJ Sampson, but left-handed, and has what seems like 3 feet on him because he's about 6'6" now. And for how big he is, he's smooth and rhythmic on the mound. You don't usually see that correlation this young, but he prides himself in what he brings to the mound. And then the fastball velocity, and really just jumped out of nowhere this summer. Was 82, 83 pretty consistently in the early half of the summer. Gets down to Hoover for the 14U WWBA. All of a sudden you start seeing 88s on the radar gun. I wasn't there, but I checked with our guys. I'm like, can you go get another gun? Like, this is a huge jump out of nowhere. It's like, we have TrackMan, we have multiple radar guns, it's all legit. And then that's kind of where he was, 86, 88 the rest of the way. The changeup's one of the better changeups in the class. The curveball, huge depth to it. So you're looking at a left-hander, 6'6", does it easy and just attacks the strike zone. So there's a reason he's number 2. He just jumped up, I think, from 3 in our latest iteration. So he is one of the top arms in the class, and he's going to be a fun one to watch develop moving forward.
Iteration, good word. You have many people turn away from this feature now if you're throwing in big words like that. Well done by you. So, RJ Cope, his mom's an attorney. I'm sure she uses words like iteration on occasion. They both have deep athletic backgrounds, playing collegiately, professionally. But Cope is 6'7". He not only was a Select Festival kid, so 14U Select Fest kid, but then he went to Jupiter and pitched really well. That's a senior-only event unless you have courage like RJ Cope does. Who is this man becoming? Because maybe you're going to tell me the velocity is going to jump even more with that height.
Oh, there's no doubt the velocity is going to jump, but at the end of the day, RJ Cope may be in the record books of PG for the most events attended. Like, he doesn't care the age group, where it is. He's going to go out, he's going to compete. You could go look up his innings and events played in, and it's already in the hundreds of events, which is kind of ridiculous given he's just entering high school now. And we're going to see him at the main event come the end of the year. Like you mentioned, that velocity, it's a higher slot and it's straight downhill, 6'7". He's been up to 87, 88, I believe. And we saw a different side of him at the Select Festival where it was pure attack mode. He wasn't there to make friends when he was on the mound. I mean, you saw there's still photos of him just shouting and shrieking coming off the mound, just absolute adrenaline pumping through him. And as he continues to pitch like that, as we saw in Jupiter, he's going to be able to compete regardless of who he's facing, where he's facing them. And he looks like he, again, is going to be one of the top arms in this class.
Here's the great thing about talking to Jeremy Brown. I can go a little bit further down on the list, pop a player right in his lap, and he's going to take care of it. I'm wondering how Gio Rojas found his way to Colorado, but then found his way back to being a Miami commitment. In other words, there's some global moving around going on with Gio Rojas, but as a freshman, he's 6'1", 160. Again, is committed to play for the Hurricanes out of Colorado. When you've seen him pitch, what have you seen?
Oh, it's electric. I mean, there's nothing comfortable. It's a lower three-quarter slot from a lefty. Big slider, really good changeup. He turns it over despite that slot, and then the fastball's been up to 86, 87, and it's only a matter of time before it is in the low 90s. And you mentioned that Miami connection. His travel ball coach used to play with Miami, so I'm sure there was some connections made there, but we've also seen that Miami staff go get rookie Shepard out of Nevada. So they're really not afraid to go wherever the talent takes them, and having that battery in Rojas and rookie Shepard is a pretty good starting point if you're the Miami staff.
Great stuff. The number 3 left-handed pitcher overall in this 2026 class, Carson Boldemani. He gets a chance to work out with his brother Tyler a lot. He's a 2025 catcher, so there you have it, a pitcher and a catcher together. He said something very interesting when we communicated this summer. He said, I'm the type of pitcher, as he shared a scouting report, and we'll let Jeremy do that on the backside of this feature. He said, I can win without my best stuff. And to hear someone who's a 2026 say that's outstanding growth and development with a lot more to come. His parents are Britt and Brittany, 2 great names. Here's the story of left-handed pitcher Carson Boldemani.
I love the control of just running out there and you're on the mound, you know, everyone's looking at you and you're kind of the driver. I love that. So I'm a kind of bigger lefty. I try to keep the ball low in the zone and just get swing and misses and get hitters out. I'm literally a different person when I step on the mound. Like, there's just something else inside of me, kind of like a switch that I flip. I'm a competitor. Every time I step on the mound, I'm gonna give my team a chance, you know, try to not give freebies and give walks, give free 90s, to make hitters earn it and give my team a chance. Britt Bowman, he's my dad. I mean, he's a big influence on me. If I don't do good, he's looking for something that I can improve on. So he's not just yelling at me for no reason, like, you didn't do good and stuff like that. He like tells me like what I did wrong so that I can get better. After bad games, I like being in the car with him. The best advice my dad's given me, just be calm, relax, just have confidence in every pitch because you put in the work. If I throw 2 balls, I'll step off the rubber, look at the scoreboard, and I look at the home and the O, and I stare at it for like 3 seconds, take a deep breath, and then I do 2 taps on the rubber. I'm a little goofy, I like it.
Westbrook has a shutout and a win. He goes the distance and the Cardinals hold on.
Jake Westbrook, he's my second cousin, so he's my dad's cousin. We do like a Thanksgiving like golf tournament, and right after that, we all go to his house. Other than my pitching coach, he's the one who kind of taught me my grip and everything, and you know, how to really pitch to a hitter, you know, and like throw a curveball or throw a fastball in a certain count, they're trying to get them out. He's been a big help in that. Slider, I try to throw back foot to kind of get swing and misses. Curveball, try to drop in for a strike, and if I'm 0-2, I try to keep it down to get a swing and miss. 4-seam, I try to just throw it by a hitter, and if I'm behind in the count, just kind of get back there and throw a strike. 2-seam, I usually throw to righties because it tails away and try to get swing and misses. I'm consistent, and I feel like I can get guys out consistently. You know, Lord willing, I hope I can stay on the mound and do the best I can and just continue to get better. Obviously, velo's always a thing. There's always that wall you want to get past. But at the end of the day, I don't really think it matters how hard you throw if you're still getting hitters out, because that's going to get you a long way.
By the way, his sister Landry is 9 years old, heading into double digits, and an incredible tennis player and basketball player as well. H, you saw him pitch. Carson obviously did a great job in conversations with us. And you watched that feature. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, him saying that he can compete with his best stuff or without. I mean, I've seen both ends of the spectrum for him. And when he's on, there's not many better pitchers in the country, regardless of age. Because he is going to go out there kind of like Crew Schoolcraft, where he has a plan and he has the ability to execute it. He can put the fastball east, west, north, south, wherever he wants, while landing the breaking ball. And like others that we've mentioned, the changeup really is a difference maker for him. He tunnels it really well, so hitters read fastball out of the hand, but it's got that differential in speed, so they're out front, and then that 86 plays up even more out of his hand. So the fastball right now is kind of like CJ Sampson, where it's not going to jump huge off the page just yet, but the key word there is just yet, because it is coming, and when it comes, it's going to come fast.
Full transparency, we asked Jeremy Brown to share some of his surprises or risers or ones to watch. He shared the names, so I'll lead him to them, but I can't wait to learn why they made your list. John Robbins. John Robbins Jr., by the way, is a young man who is from Fayetteville, Georgia, a left-handed pitcher. Tell me why he made the list.
Every time he touches a mound down at East Cobb, he is a Georgia kid, so he plays in a lot of East Cobb tournaments. I've gotten texts from our scouts down there, and it's like up to 85, up to 86, up to 87, and he's continued to climb even into the fall, where he's a big physical left-hander. He's been up to 88 most recently, big depth to the curveball, kind of a hammer 12-6. So when you get those ingredients already, before you even pitch your first varsity inning, you're off to a really good start.
John Robbins the third, by the way. Let's make sure we get that correct. Junior is dad. John Robbins the third. Johnny Carver, an Arkansas commit from Raymore, Missouri, another left-handed pitcher.
The 2026 class is the year of the lefty. I mean, we've gone through a bunch already. You got Robbins, now you got Carver. And the last name is very fitting for what he is on the mound. You know, it's that lower three-quarter slot again, but he literally goes and carves up hitters. A ton of strikes, just like CJ Sampson. Fastball's been up to 84, 85. It started to climb a little bit this fall. That's a really good indicator of things to come for him. Obviously, Arkansas already jumped in, and when you mix in the slider, the fastball, it's a really good starting package.
And the final name intrigues me maybe the most. He's an NC State commit as a shortstop, but you've seen enough of Jacob Smith as a pitcher that you say he could rise as an arm, so you've let him be on this show. I'm excited to hear why.
Yeah, I mean, Jacob Smith already committed to NC State, as you mentioned, from that South Charlotte program, so really good baseball knowledge within their players and how to play the game. And he's physical, he's big, he's right-handed, and has no problem playing short, playing third, right-handed juice. But then you see him on the mound, and for how big he is, he keeps things very simple. It's a fast arm.